want to congratulate the Pacers. You know, they were the better team. They deserved it. They played great. So congratulations to Rick and that group during the conference finals. Again, I would just say from the Cavaliers standpoint, I'm going to go positive here in the sense that I do feel like we got better. And from a team aspect, and then we had a lot of individuals make a step. So I just want to make that clear. But the truth of the matter is we didn't get to the level we wanted to get to. So, I'm not, we're not pleased with that, and we're not celebrating the season, if that all makes sense. But I do think we made strides. I think we took a jump, and now we got to figure out this last piece, how to get over this hump. And I was quite honestly expecting more, especially coming off the Miami series. Though we were playing great basketball. Definitely, just the truth. We had some misfortune. With a couple injuries, so that was unfortunate. But I still felt like we had enough. So it's disappointing from our perspective. So just wanted to start out with that.
Chris. Hey, Kenny.
Hey, Chris.
You mentioned being unable to reach that level. Why do you think you were unable?
I think they presented a physical challenge that's probably the first off the bat. And to their credit, they kind of did it longer they could sustain longer than we could. So now that's not all physical, Chris. I think that part of that is mental, right? The mental strength that's part of our growth. We obviously got to get physically better, or arrive physically better to compete with a team like this that plays at this high intense pace. And they're up here, guys. Like I know from the data, I know from watching film that they're up here and they can sustain it. I just give them so much credit for being able to sustain that type of intensity for so long. Now we got to find a way to match it, and we didn't. We weren't. I think we're built for it. I think the type of athlete we have, we're built for it, but we weren't ready for that. And then the mental part, that we got to get over that. I just felt like we got another jump to make with kind of our mental strength. But I love our togetherness. I love our leadership. I love our maturity. All that. So those would be the two areas. Like if you kind of right off the bat, I think we got to get better.
Physicality and mental toughness. How do you?
Physicality is not. That's like, to me, physicality is like bump. There's so much. It's the force thing. Like you be able to run. I mean, this league has become this. It is the pace is, especially against this team, is incredibly high, and it's for. So,
How do you improve on those things?
There's just a lot of work. I mean, we gotta work at it, right? I mean, there's off-season, programs we set in place. I think that's part of my strength, the development area. We obviously got some guys that gotta make jumps from a physical standpoint, and then there's a lot of mental. There's a mental aspect to it, and there's I think there's conversations about that, and you help guys along, and you got it. That's part of coaching, right? Help them get over that hurdle. So we got a lot of work to do. Is what I'm saying.
Cam.
In this series, for you, what do you feel like you learned the most as a coach that you can take into this offseason that you're going to focus on?
Yeah, I think I think I have to breathe first, before I kind of make a summary, because I don't want to come out there and I did learn kind of what I told Chris. We got jumps. We got areas we have to improve in, and we could not sustain, from a physical standpoint, and then from a mental standpoint, I think they were stronger, and that's a team. Like I said, they've gotten over the hump, gotten to the conference finals. We're not there yet, so just kind of repeat. We got a lot of work to do in the off season. But again, I'm just going to say it. I think we got better. I really do. I think, and I think we had players that made jumps. But now this is a different season. Playoffs are different. We gotta figure that out. I can promise you. There's nothing. There's no better motivator than a loss like this. There's nothing that motivates more a player. I know that, because there's the pain you live with every day until you get back here in May or June. You live with that, and there's no better motivator for an athlete, for a professional athlete, to kind of get back to work. Say, man, I got to get to that next level. And from me, myself, also our staff, like, geez, we got another jump to make. We got to figure it out.
Kenny, what about this matchup neutralized your offense? And in particular, even late in the game here, they had a hard time. Your guys had a hard time just making those easy buckets.
Yeah, they just they kind of wore us down. They wore us down. They have a particular style they play. They definitely make you play more on one-on-one. They don't let you get into your drive kick swing. They stay at home on drives because their ability to guard one-on-one. And we've seen this with a couple other teams, elite teams. It's kind of how they scheme us. So we got to kind of go back to the drawing board a little bit. And what we really struggled was with the pressure, the full court ball pressure. I felt like that was the beginning of it, and we struggled just to get into our stuff early enough. So credit to them. Yeah, but I agree with that. I mean, I actually thought our defense was, did a good job. I thought it was our offense that hurt us more.
Small.
Can you tonight, Donovan struggled shooting it from outside, Darius from outside, just the collective kind of struggle from shooting it outside.
Yeah. I know, and we really didn't shoot it well all series. I don't know what the numbers are. I know we're way below expected, and that, we're gonna have to go back and look at it. Kind of what I said. Look at the offense. What were the quality of shots? I felt like we didn't get enough catch and shoot ones tonight. I thought it was more off the dribble, which are obviously lower percent. All those guys are elite, and I'd like to kind of swing it and give them credit for making it tough on us. You wear a team down, and shots become a little harder. They're short. You're not getting kind of the type of shots you want and the type of condition you want, right? So credit to them for doing that to us.
Dan.
Kenny, you mentioned not celebrating this, and I understand that not everything is black and white, but do you view this year as a whole as a success?
I think, yeah, if you get better, you feel like you've internally, I think we all in that locker room, in our organization, felt like we got better. And we felt like we had players make a jump. And I got to be careful here, but it's not a success in terms of where, the goal we had. We had a goal to make that next jump, right? So I'm not sure we can say that, right? I do think we can say we got better and we improved. But a success would be you're going to the conference finals, so can't deem it a success.
You've mentioned before this game not injuries not having a factor. But with Darius, how much was he playing through? Just how bad was that?
It's hard for me to tell, Dan. I mean, obviously he was hobbled, and you know, in this is part of it. And I've been saying this all year. We had to arrive here healthy. It's the big hurdle. They were healthy. I mean, completely healthy. I believe so. They're at 100% healthy. And when you're working on the margins, you got 3 guys out, 3 of your top 6 out. You got your point guard out for the first. It's like, you just wish you were whole. But I don't think that's an excuse. Like I don't want to say, oh, that's the reason, because that's not the reason, because they were the better team. But somehow we got to arrive here next year, injury free. I mean, that's the goal. We worked hard. We worked hard to do that, and there's bad luck. There's misfortune. They weren't soft tissue, injuries, which is somewhat controllable, right? So it's little misfortune, little bad luck. But definitely, we all saw it. It wasn't himself.
Joe?
Kenny, this is going to sound like second guessing, and I don't mean that to be, but just given what you've been talking about for the last 10 minutes and what happened in the series, do you think that sort of the collective taking the foot off the gas at the end of March had anything to do with this? And then also, when we're talking about being able to match the Pacers' pace, you didn't have any players average more than 31 minutes for the Raptors, and I know why you guys did that. But could we say that played a role in maybe not being able to keep up with the way they run?
I'll answer the first question. So the March thing, we didn't take our foot off the gas. I think we had a hellacious schedule and didn't play well, and that I know, like, kind of that would be kind of my fact. So there wasn't, we're resting guys for 5 games, none of that. I will say we definitely had a plan post All-Star in terms of, and you can kind of see the minutes of getting guys more games with higher minutes, leading up to the playoffs. Now, some of that gets cute, right? You're up 20, and the plan is to play Don 39 minutes, and you don't do it. And so, could I play guys a couple more games with higher minutes? But there was a plan in place. I think we executed it okay, but I do think there are some circumstances around that. Listen, there's, we still have some young players that, Evan. It takes time to get to this level, this intensity. And they have a vet squad that's kind of done it. And we just have probably a small group of guys that need to take a jump, and they will. It's it doesn't like all of a sudden like happen. It's a process. And you see Evan's going to get a little better. Darius is going to get a little stronger. Evan's going to get a little stronger. Those guys are going to get better, and that that's part of getting over the hump.
And then quickly, how do you think, whether it's the Knicks or if Celtics somehow survive, or Thunder, or whatever, how are these other teams going to deal with the Pacers' pace? Like, I would imagine you feel it's pretty special.
I mean, they beat the Knicks last year the same way. They wore them down. I think that did the Knicks get injured? I think there were a few. It's and I just mad respect. It's like a college team, and I say that in a really good way. Like they press for 48 minutes, and they run faster than anybody in the league. We have the data. I wish I had a graph, right? You got the league. We're kind of up there, and probably 60, and they're up here. And I think, to their credit, I think they've recruited to that type of their style of play. They've surrounded their best player with that. But I do think we have a team that's capable of doing that too. We just got to figure out. But if you play the Celtics, the Knicks, it's a totally different. The Heat, it's a different type of game. This this game, this team we couldn't match it.
That's gonna